Hello everyone, this is Organon, Organon of Medicine. Topic of different editions. So today we are on all the editions of Organon of Medicine. So this is the on Organon of Medicine and for the exam point of view. So before start the essence of Organon, we have to understand the introduction of the Organon. So the definition of organon, the organon is Latin word taken from Latin word which means the instrument. Greek word by its and electric implement organ of the body. So the meaning of organ is instrument, implement, organ of body, tool, or in Latin organon the instrument. In the new Lexis, it has the meaning of instrument for acquiring knowledge, specifically able of scientific or investigations. So this is the definition of. In this sense, we the meaning. So, method of scientific investigation. So first meaning is scientific investigation. Second, instrument of thought. And third meaning is physics. And fourth meaning is literary word. The so these are of organon. Means an organ or system. It also means an organ or system. Next point, a group of logical elements for scientific in or demonstration. This is the logical requirements for scientific or demonstration. And the second, any measure of an author which set many fundamental principles of the topic. So these are the meaning of the word organon. Now about the medicine. So what is the organ of medicine? Now it is that the Hahnemann was in with the word organon because its meaning had some practical relationship with the theory of homeopathic medicine. Medical and it has base of classical. So the organon is the basic of homeopathy. He wrote in the style of aphorisms were originally Hippocratic. So Dr. Hahnemann followed aphorisms of Hippocrates. He wrote his book of aphorisms. Now the one was used for the first time by eminent Greek philosopher in 18 34 to 3012 under the common title of the work of Aristotle was in the logic. So the we have to the first was used before Hahnemann. Now the Francis Bacon in 61 to 1620 Bacon wrote a book on subject titled No Organon or New, probably referring to the Aristotle. The book was in the Latin. So these are the important. He used the word organon, Hahnemann. So the first time used this word organon after Francis Bacon used this word in his book Novum. So these are the we have to remember for the exam point. Next, we are coming uh, the precursors of organon. The precursors of organon because uh, from his the Organon taken, or the before Organon books were written. So the precursors of Organon was an essay on new principles for ascertaining the of drugs, which in 1976. Now the second point, the Fragmenta de Veribus. It was written 105, and the third book which Hahnemann written was Medicine of Experience. So it was written 5. So three books were for Organon by Dr. Hahnemann. So these are the precursors of Organon. Now to the next point, important works preceding Organon. So 1796, essay for asserting the curative power of drugs and examination of the previous principles were in 1797. In 1797 are the obstacles to the attainment of simplicity in principle, insurmountable. So the written, and the third five, the Aeschylus in the balance. And now in 1805, the Fragmenta de Veritorium Positivus, also written by Dr. Hahnemann, preceding the Organon. In 1805, the Medicine of, also written by Hahnemann. In 1807, Indications of the employment of medicines in practice. It also written by Hahnemann before starting the organ of medicine. Coming uh, the basic plan of Hahnemann. Oh, sorry, or so what is the plan? Uh, this is two parts of. First part is theoretical part. Second part is the practical. This is the ground plan of organ. So the basic principles, definitions of ideas, the law of similars. That the homeopathic method is the only one to study plan, study of the disease, of the remedies, and application of the to the disease. So included are the sections on how to conduct and how to prepare the remedies. Other therapeutics, other therapies. We are coming to the additions of the organ. So there are a total 5 published during the Hahnemann's lifetime. The sixth edition was published after. We will be discussing all 6 editions of Organon in this article. The first was published in 1800 and the sixth edition in 1921, 28 years after his death in 1800. So this is the important point of view. So we have to remember the sixth edition was published in 1921, 78 death of Hahnemann. Now the very important, the manuscript of edition was made ready by before his death. Manuscript of the sixth edition made ready by Dr. Hahnemann's death. The first edition in 1810 titled Organon of Rest Healing. So this was the title of first volume of Organon. The title was changed to Healing Art. First title was different. First edition, the other editions of the title was so Organon of Healing Art. Now the importance of organon. The organ of medicine helps the organ of medicine helps patients to acquire the homeopathic system of medicine to the patient historically, holistically and rationally. This was written by Dr. Jet in his lectures. Is applicable to every but the great thing to know how to apply this. This was given by Dr. Jetikin in Texas. Now the organ of medicine by our master containing the principles of home. So this is the definition of organ. We are coming to the aim and object of organ. So the object of Hahnemann for right medicine was to so aim and object for writing organ of medicine formulate doctrines, laws, practical instructions, professions so that practice homeopathy in an elevated way. This was the aim and object. And the allopathic physician don't have any like organon, uh, so only the has the instructions for the physician. So this is the only book we have Master Dr. Hahnemann written for us. Now we are of organ of medicine. Editions of organ during his lifetime published 5 editions of Organon. One is the most popular, the published long after his death in 1921. The first edition was published in 1810. The title was Organ of Medical Science. So it was published 1810 in it was published by Arnold and the finance a grateful patient. It contains 200 syllogisms and the content is stanza from Gellert, the famous German poet. The first edition was translated by C. E. Wheeler. This edition into English had 13 important points about the first edition and we highlighted in different colors to memorize. This is required. Please mute your because some extra noise from your side. Don't worry, we are reduced, so there will be no sound problem. Please mute the speakers. Now we are coming to the second one. So second released in 1819. Title was Organon of Healing. It was as an argument. So this is the very important point. Second edition was published as a limited edition from Leipzig. It contains 318 or aphorisms, but there was a numerical problem. The total or action was 300. The stanza poem was replaced by 2 words "Ode Sapere", which in all succeeding editions. These are the important points painted by different colors. The trans book. It was the first edition of Organon from Germany. So the second edition was the second edition first edition, which was translated from, and it was translated by Ernest George von Howe in 1820. These are the important points about the second. Now we are into the third edition. So third published in 1820. The title changed. It was the same, Organ of Healing Art, and it was published improved edition. This is the very important point, which is the edition and which is the improved edition. Remember, and sometimes about and question asked about which place edition was published. The first edition was published from Leipzig. Second edition was published from Cothen. Third edition contains the 300 or the aphorisms, but now the same problem or the same numerical problem. There was actually 17 sections. So actually 370 sections. It contains the 320. So same mistake like in the third edition was the same in the counting the aphorisms. Now we are edition. The fourth edition, the title, the name and the title the same as before. Second third edition, and this is augmented and improved edition. So this was published as improved edition 1929 from Koth. Hence many paragraphs are added. So contain 292 sections. Theories and the introduction of Organon was for the first time. So this is the very important in which Organon, the theory of chronic disease and the introduction of given. So this is the fourth edition. So it contains the theory of an introduction. So it was the first time given in. Now we are coming to the. So this edition first ever translated uh, in English was edged in 1800. So this is the first English organ. Now the fifth edition. Fifth was same as before. This was the last was published during the lifetime of in the year 33 from Cothen. This was the last edition during the lifetime of Henry. It contains 94 sections or aphorisms. The doctrine and drug dynamization was introduced first time in this edition. Doctrine of vital and drug dynamization enters fifth edition. Is the most perfect of this is the most perfect edition in the all edition and as the textbook in homeopathy all over the world. Translation in English by Robert Elias Durgan in 1849 again in 1893. This edition was also translated by C. Wessel. So this translation of fifth edition of 294 April, and this was the last edition which was published during Hahnemann and Battle Force and Drug Dynamization was the fifth edition of Organon and the perfect edition in all editions of Organon. So these are the important points about the fifth Organon. Now we are coming to the last edition, that is the sixth edition of Organon. It was published in 1921. The title was as before. It was completed or the manuscript of this edition was completed in 142 days. but unfortunately wasn't published by him. Breathed his last on 2nd of 1843. It was the first published in German language was by Richard Hale. It published in German language by Richard Hale in 1991. After 8 years of, of Hahnemann, the English translation was done by. It contains 291 the 291 aphorisms. The theory of repetition of doses, concept of dynamic influence, sensible potencies introduced addition. So sixth edition, it contains the reverse concept of dynamic into the vital force change into the in sixth edition of Organon. The fifth dimensional produced in Organon. The theory of repetition of dose most uh, of Organon. Many of the people told that there was the change in the repetition of dose. So it was special about the theory of doses. The overall first part, different editions of Organon. We are stopping here because the timing is running out. Only the 40 we have time, and second part we will start the next session. Inform before taking the session, and this is request to please participate in all the live sessions. Anyone have any kind of doubt, so they can message us in the Zoom app. Try to explain all the queries. So here the first part on the discussion on different. So night.